We are the closest we've ever been to getting J. Cole's new album, The Fall Off, the long-awaited finale to that release plan that he laid out almost 4 years ago. But today, we're going to go over all the latest news on this album and what he just announced concerning this, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter briefing with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So this is likely the album from J. Cole that we've been consciously waiting for the longest. He first in 2020 gave us this release plan, like just a jotted down list of what he was going to do over the next couple of, at this point, years. And when you took a look at that, you could see that this was called the Fall Off era. We had the features run of 2018, 2019. We had Revenge of the Dreamers 3. We've had the off season that we've now also gotten, 2021. And then there was two things left, It's a Boy and the Fall Off. And we never knew what those were going to be or when they would actually be dropping. The Fall Off obviously being teased at the end of KOD as well, with 1985 being the intro to the Fall Off. So we didn't know what this was. We knew it was this big album. And it was kind of concluding the mixtape series as well, with the come up, the warm up, all of that. But then we thought we were actually pretty close to this, because he announced that he was going to go on tour together with Drake for the Big as the What leg of the It's All a Blur tour. And we had this announcement right after Scary Hours 3, the deluxe 2 for All the Dogs by Drake dropped. So we knew that Drake would have some sort of material to go on tour with, which obviously is a big tour if you have a OVO, Dreamville, J. Cole, Drake collab tour, but J. Cole didn't. I mean, we haven't had a J. Cole album in almost 3 years at this point, which is not like a very long time when it comes to J. Cole. But still, it's like, still 3 years. So we thought that he was going to drop before that. Well, they just went on tour only a couple of days ago. I believe February 2nd, maybe end of January, they started going on tour. We've gotten a couple of clips here and there, but he never dropped an album before. That was our big hope, that before going on tour, we were going to get the Fall Off, It's a Boy, whatever, a new album. That didn't happen. That brings us to today, though, because as I said, we've gotten a couple of impressions from the shows. For example, the two of them played first-person shooter, which obviously seems to go crazy live, and also the two of them have some stage presence. Also seen some questionable stage designs by Drake. He always got interesting stuff going on. Also noticed the outfit he's wearing with the skeletons on his back. Like, I don't even know what he's doing. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about J. Cole, because he, at one point, I think this was the Tampa show, correct me if I'm wrong, but, kind of sat down with the fans, had a one-on-one talk with them, and he said, and I quote, "Right now, I'm at the tail end of working on this album I've been working on for a long time." And he goes on to say, it's called The Fall Off. I don't know if you heard of this. And, he's working on it for a very long time, and finally now he's at the completion state for this. I mean, this is big news. He says he's at the end of working on this. So he's actively teasing something, which is not always the case with J. Cole, who can stay pretty quiet for a very long time when there's no album coming. He's usually not someone that gives us false hopes or that announces an album and then never drops. Kanye. So this was pretty big news for J. Cole fans, because if he says something, usually he actually means it. And as we could tell by him giving us that release schedule, there's always a plan to this. He's not just randomly throwing it out there to get fans maybe spontaneously hyped up. We know he's a very strategic person. We know that he takes this seriously, and we know there's a plan behind this. And it doesn't stop here. It's him teasing the Fall Off live, but also for posters of the show that were outside of the venues they were holding the shows at, we could see this print of the Fall Off is inevitable. Again, we have that nice, sinner and angel J. Cole graphic right there that is very nostalgic, but it says the Fall Off is inevitable in the same font that also that schedule was written. So we know this is kind of teasing at that. But the Fall Off is inevitable is obviously like a double entendre of an artist is not supposed to stay relevant for forever, and J. Cole is very well aware of this. So the Fall Off is inevitable, but also the album the fall off is inevitable. Obviously, he's teasing at both of this. Funnily though, the fan that saw this, or the fan that this video was from, she was the one who found a signature, like an autograph from J. Cole randomly on that poster wall, and she kind of like cut it out, which I think was crazy. Like, people were saying like J. Cole like Banksy now, because he's like randomly putting a signature somewhere just to kind of see that it's authentic, which I thought was cool. I mean, just leaving little hints like that, it's pretty cool. Now, it also doesn't stop there. We've gotten him talking to the fans, saying he's done working on the album, or at the very end of it. We've gotten the fall off is inevitable on the posters for the shows. And also, thirdly, we have merch from those shows, which you can pick up a shirt or sweatshirt or whatever, and you can see that on the merch, on the item, it's a print of that schedule. And we can see it says the fall off era. It got the features, it got Revenge of the Dreamers 3, it got the off season, now also crossed out, which it wasn't yet on the OG plan. And then we have It's a Boy, and then also the fall off is inevitable. So maybe he changed the title to the fall off is inevitable. Might be, that's just a theory. We're gonna have, you know, a lot of more theories as we get closer to the release. Stay subscribed if you haven't yet, not miss out on any of the videos. But still, this is big. This is an updated version of the release schedule because the off season is crossed out. But this also means that It's a Boy still comes before the fall off. There were many theories about It's a Boy. It could be about his child, that was like the birth of his son. It could be about the Kill Edward album that was way back in the works from KOD times. We don't know. I mean, It's a Boy seems to be coming before the fall off, but so far he's only teasing the fall off. So I think he has some plan behind this. Let's see how this all rolls out. But the fall off is coming, and I think it's coming pretty soon because it's been a couple of years since he last dropped. He was also teasing at this more heavily now. He's got all of this publicity, all of this attention through the Drake shows, obviously, which we know just from a couple of days of shows, we've gotten so much clips and so much material from this that, you know, I think he's going to capitalize off of that success. Also, just a couple of days ago, January 28th, The Real is back. J. Cole turned 39, so he's not the youngest anymore, and I think he wants to still make the most of it while he's that relevant. So that's all the news we have on the fall off. He said he's at the end of working on this. We got the merch, we got the posters, going on tour now with Drake. I think we're going to see the fall off pretty soon. I think it's inevitable. But let me know what y'all think about this. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What do you make of all this new material? I mean, this is the most we've gotten as J. Cole fans in a long time. So, gotta be happy about that. I hope that we get more info throughout the entire tour, throughout him interacting with fans, throughout him maybe giving interviews. Let's see where this goes. But for now, I want to know what y'all think about this. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.